Hello and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Unreal World. Um, Not exactly what I intended for this episode. I'm afraid that I had an issue with today's footage. The file corrupted, so I have lost an entire episode, which is a shame because a fair amount happened in that episode. I went hunting, as I said I would, and it was a fairly successful hunt. I came across a wolf, an elk, and a stag during the course of 2 or 3 days hunting. I managed to bring them all down and transport them back home. But in the process, I also ran afoul of 2 Nyerpes warriors separately, not both at the same time, thankfully. One with a mace and one with a scimitar, which they managed to get a couple of good attacks off. We had a fair amount of bruising over our bodies, and the Nyerpes with the scimitar gave us a pretty nasty cut in the chest. But that is healing alright, and all the bruises have healed, thankfully. Fortunately enough, we've got such good armor rating that it didn't really hurt that much. As you can see, even for edge attacks like a sword, we're pretty well protected apart from our face, neck and arms, so we did alright. And pretty much everything these days, thankfully. A few more changes. I had such trouble fighting off the Nyerpes warriors because apparently I forgot how to shoot, so I lost a lot of arrows, as well as the hunt as well. And my hammer wasn't particularly working, and I lost my primitive stone spear in the fight as well. So all I had was my hammer, my longbow, and my broad knife. The knife was an awful weapon. The longbow I kept missing at long range, and by the time they got up close, obviously we couldn't actually hit them, because if they're within a certain range, it doesn't let you complete your attacks. So I couldn't shoot them while they were in the adjacent tile, so I only had the hammer, which I managed to beat them with eventually. Generally through disarming them, I got a lucky hit or two which caused them to drop their weapon, which I could then pick up myself and then use it against them, so it was a lot easier to take them down with their mace and scimitar respectively. But because of that, as you may notice, I went and crafted a spear, so we actually have a proper steel spear now for fighting. And I also have come south. You may notice we are surrounded by villages. If I go to the map, we are south. We are back in Drick territory. I came down here to do some trading because I tried crafting some arrows to replenish our stock, but unfortunately my carpentry skill is still pretty piss poor, so it was coming out with rough and curved arrows and awful. So I decided to come south and see what goods I could get down here. So I've managed to pick up another 30 arrows here to add to the 20 that I already had, so we're back up to 50 arrows. And you can see a couple of the rough ones here that I've made. We picked up a load of new armour off of the Nyerpes warrior, which I've left at home. I think I used some of it for cordage to make start smoking the meat. And while I am down south, I have picked up some more bags of barley grains, another bag of barley flour, and some more dried fish, large ones. And this has been really useful because I decided to try getting down here in another method. Instead of coming up, or coming down rather, through the land, crossing the rivers, everything like we normally do, coming down along here and crossing the rivers and lakes, I decided to see if it would be quicker to take the rivers and come along the coast. So I've gone from our encampment, which is that little brown square there, and I've come all the way down this river to the coast, and then I have just skirted around to the south of the continent. And unfortunately it took possibly longer than it did to walk it, so I will be walking home. But yeah, we ran out of food. We were getting pretty malnourished by the time we actually managed to get here, so by the time I found a village it was a case of screw it, I don't care what you charge me, just give me some bloody food. So I bought the scimitar and the mace with me that I took from the Nyerpes warriors, and I think I can't remember what I traded for now, but basically I managed to get all of the arrows and the 3 bags of grain and flour, and I think 8 of the salmons for, I think it was the scimitar I used, and then I just purchased some more crap with the mace. I know it was hugely unnecessary, but screw it. We the ironworking mod, it seems, kind of takes away a little bit of the challenge. I'm still enjoying using it. It's great to not have to worry about trading for these certain goods, but the fact is, the goods that you can make with the ironworking mod tend to be the most expensive in the game to begin with. Pots, axes, spears, all that stuff is really expensive. That's why we were able to get so much for the mace the last time that we were down south. And the fact that we're able to make this stuff now ourselves, we can't make a mace, but we can make a hammer. A hammer counts as a mace. While I was trying to figure out what I wanted to sell, I decided to try and use my hammer as payment, and they would have taken it. I think I could have gotten all that food that I just told you about, plus the arrows, for the hammer on its own. And I didn't realise that it was quite that expensive. So the hammer is valuable. These axes are all pretty valuable. The short sword will probably be pretty damn bloody valuable. So really, we don't even have to worry about using meat as a form of currency anymore, because we can just make some goods back at camp and yeah, use those to trade with. We can just trade with iron goods now if we really wanted to, but I don't really want to do that because it feels like it would... Ooh, fox. Yeah, sure, why not? I feel like that would really... it'd make it too easy, I think. It's, you know, as long as we're using meat to trade with, it feels like we still have something to work for. We have to go hunting. We have to get all the meat. And the fox bloody ran away. Oh well. Not going to be able to catch it, are we? No, I can't even see its tracks. Oh well, big deal. Yeah, so, you know, I'd rather have to go hunting and risk losing half of our meat stores for buying what we need. But saying that, we don't even need to buy all that much now. We've got plenty of food. We have a wonderful supply of... oh yes, I also learnt the Banishing the Water Spirit. So what have we got? The Blood Stanching Incantation. Wonderful. I could have sworn I already had that, but if... no, I think I just mentioned it once before. This is a great incantation because you use it and it instantly stops you bleeding. If I'd have had that in that fight with the Neopes warrior and he had seriously injured me... What's that, a wolf? Thinks. Sure, let's go and throw something at it. Oh, no, it's gone. Can't be bothered to look for it. Yeah, if we had... what was I saying? Oh yeah, the Neopes warrior. If he'd have damaged us enough that we'd got a bleeding wound and then we'd managed to quickly kill him... no, don't drink from... no. Then we could have used that incantation and it would have stopped us from bleeding out to death, which would be wonderfully useful. I have only ever used it once before. Was that black grouse? Capercaillie. Yeah, I've only ever used the blood stanching incantation once before on a previous character, and it was after I had been attacked by a pack of wolves, and they really very, very nearly killed me. I can't even remember how I managed to get away from them now. I think I was lucky enough that they just got disinterested and ran away after I started to pass out. Instead of actually going for the kill, they saw that I was incapacitated and they left me alone, which I was more than thankful for. And I really was on death's doorstep. My blood loss bar was full to the brim and I was passing out every couple of seconds. I couldn't actually stay awake for very long, but I managed to stay awake for just long enough to use the blood stanching incantation, and all of a sudden I was able to survive and I got back to my shelter, and it went from there. I can't actually remember what happened to that character now. I think I just got bored of playing with him and deleted it, but that or something horribly happened. Something horrible happened to him, which wouldn't surprise me. Just making sure we're still going in the right direction. Yes, we're nearing the Neopez camp now. So, but yeah, so the Bloodstained incantation will be wonderfully useful. I could have sworn I was talking about something else before that, but I can't remember what. Oh, yes, I remembered the whole blacksmithing is easy mode. So yeah, I mean, considering the title of the mod pack is the self-sufficiency mod, it really is pretty damn likely. You hear a foreign trader singing nearby in the north. Piss off, I'm trying to sleep! Yeah, seeing that the mod is called the self-sufficiency mod, it should be pretty damn easy that you could start a character, sorry. Start a character from scratch, and you shouldn't have to have anything to do with people ever, really. You know, there is no real reason that you should have to go and look for villages for trading stuff unless you are desperately running low on food and need to try and trade for some. But really, if you've got a fishing rod, or you're able to make some small traps and get reasonably successful or lucky with them, then yeah, you shouldn't really have to use communication with NPCs at all. Yeah, I don't know. I may actually do that with my next character, because I don't know what's going to happen with this character. My plan is to just play him until either he dies or, you know, if it just keeps going and we're set up and we're established and it just turns into day by day and everything is hunky-dory, then I may just stop playing him, because it's going to get rather boring, really. I find the most interesting thing about this game is the initial setup. Because there is no real end game yet, that's something that Sammy is developing. It just kind of plateaus out at a certain point. The biggest challenge really is to get set up and prepare yourself to survive winter, and once you're able to do that, it's, I don't know. So yeah, I may do that eventually. I'll start a new character, and I may give you guys the option to choose certain aspects, like what culture we use. So I know that a lot of people say that the hardest culture to play is the Drakali, so we may just do that because they have a lower base stat range. I could have sworn I saw a Neopez warrior on the other side of that lake. Right, get up on your feet, eat, and drink, and drop the canoe. Yes, actually no, just let's see how deep we can get just on this canoe. Just avoid as much of the land as we can if there is a chance of there being Neopez around there. And we're nearly home anyway, so that's fine. Yeah, so we may just pick a weaker culture to play as, and then try setting up with more of a challenge. No, I don't want to go into settlements. And we'll probably have it set something along the lines of no contact with humans at all. I'm hoping that with this character, my main goal at the minute is to survive winter. So I want us to be able to see what winter's like. We are only steps away from completing the game course. We've only got to get a domestic animal at the minute, and then after that it's a case of having a companion come and live with you for a few months, and that's the game course completely finished then. No, I don't want to hunt a squirrel. So after that, no, I don't want to hunt a hare. We're very nearly home now. We're just outside of Kalmar. Throw me off. Where bloody hell was I? infuriating when that happens. Damn, I really can't remember. I think I was talking about starting a new character. Yeah, no NPC contact. Oh wait, yes, that was it. The game course. I'm hoping that with this character, I'm going to be able to complete this game course, which I could probably do in the next episode, to be brutally honest. I'll find a village close by that has domestic animals and trade for one of them. And then from there I can go and grab a companion. And then after that, it's a pretty simple case of starting the next game course, which is the advanced game course, which will be new for all of us because I have never done it before. Yepers Warrior. Yeah, I have never ever attempted the advanced game course. I know what some of it includes. I believe one of the things that it asks you to do is to hunt and kill a bear. Another thing is it introduces you to using saunas. So you have to get a tub, get a sauna scoop, and use it all together and whatnot, which is interesting because that's something that I've never done. I've known that the mechanic is in the game, but I've never actually tried it in any way. I've never actually taken a trip to a sauna and used it as such. The only thing I've ever used saunas for in the past has been to smoke food. And we're home. So yeah, I may do that. Well, there's no may about it. We will do that. We'll get the advanced game course going on this character, and again, we'll play it until either the character dies, or if we complete the game course, we may call it quits there, or whatever happens. And then with another character, we'll start from scratch, and we'll try and disadvantage ourselves as much as we can to make it a harder start. And we'll see if we're able to come as far and do as well. But yeah, I'm going to put an end to this video here. I'm sorry that nothing has really happened apart from us coming home. This has really just been an update video to cover the actual things that happened in the corrupted file. So I am very sorry about that. That's the second time that's happened now. I'm going to hope that that doesn't happen again. I'm not quite sure why it happened in the first place. But yeah, so now you're up to speed. Now you understand why we have a slight injury bar, and now you understand why I've just gone and got us a load more food. So I'll put a break here. Thank you for joining me once again today, and until next time when we will actually go out hunting and do some more stuff, I'll see you later.